Hey guys, and so in today's video we're going to be talking about some updates to the Final Fantasy XIV prohibited activities and penalty policy that likewise is going to impact bans, suspensions, and are probably going to be pretty important for everyone in the player base to at least be a little bit aware of. So first up on the agenda is that 2 activities were explicitly added to prohibited activities, which is one of the most notoriously well-known problems, which is Party Finder group advertisement, which even at this absolutely ungodly hour in the morning, yep, you've guessed it, there's actually a Party Finder group advertising even in spite of this change right now. It reminds me of a video that I guess people would on the internet say was irrelevant or a dud, which was like a Chicago cell block tango parody to it that I sang. Not that anyone seemed to enjoy it, but I at least had my fun with it, which was basically explicitly talking about this. Long detailed story boiled short is that many Party Finder listings ask people to go to a different external website, such as the very commonly this in the 14 community involves people advertising with a throwaway Discord account that are made explicitly for that one sale and then trashed after that sale immediately after, and then brand new Discord account is made after for another sale. This likewise is intended, as you'd expect, just purely to make it difficult to follow and track, and obviously worked because in the Act of Fairness this previously would require an extensive investigation into verifying is it RMT, is it not, what's going on here. Basically this just led to a lot of problems and a lot of delays, which, as they literally said in the article, this meant these fraudulent listings were routinely visible on a daily basis, a situation which has persisted until now. Not to mention, even in this article they cite how they use Duty Roulette on the top to advertise, which very true to say the least. I can say that it has almost how to say it, it has actually taught me and made it a habit of mine. If I open Party Finder, I'm just gonna like scroll halfway down. It's literally taught me to do that, and I glaze over any legitimate postings there just because they're trapped between like 15 different selling groups or something on Aether, and I can't be the only one that grew accustomed to that. Don't put that on me. This change going through, that's going to be a really hard habit to break because it's just been built up over years. I can't be the only one thinking that. Now the end result, what did they do? They're upping their measures and went into a little bit of detail here. So now it is explicitly prohibited to advertise that you are offering people to help clear duties or obtain items. This does include even if you are offering to sell or help them for gil. Note that clearly, and this is a very significant step up from before where I was pretty sure all the gil was okay. Nope. Absolutely wrong. You cannot offer to sell even for gil. But what is very important to note is you can still ask if you are the buyer of the services, but you cannot advertise if you are the seller. So when I offer someone to buy, when I offer my 500k gil on Party Finder, next expansion for Aether Currents, for someone to fly me around, I should, from what I'm reading here, be a-okay with that. But now if I flip it into reverse and see like someone selling in Party Finder, like I'm gonna fly you around on Aether Currents for 500k a pop, apparently from my understanding of this document is that that is now going to be a penalty, penalized form of content. So buying, thumbs up, you're good. Selling, thumbs down, you can't do that anymore. Speaking about Aether Currents, I can't be the only one that wants to do that next expansion, right? I admit I did that in this expansion, I did that in Stormblood. I just don't enjoy Aether Currents, guys. I suck at them. And people are gonna be like, but they're so easy. Me. Oh, please don't hurt me. Now the next bit of clarification is one for many to note. I know a lot of people in this community that are definitely doing that, and this is for player events, housing related promotions, and in-game purchases and sale of items, such as I want to buy like 90 crafts of this, or I'm selling 90 crafts of this, or I'm gonna sell you like best in slot gear all pentamelded. All of that is involved in this. And so this is going to be explicitly all of this placed in the other category instead of like people putting it in like expert roulette. So my take, and it might be hot take, which I'm not trying to be spicy here guys, I'm just trying to speak from the heart, is I'm actually kind of welcoming this change. And why I say that is because now people that want to find the content related to something like housing, related to buying items, can go to the other tab. That's a huge bonus and boost to the viewership of that particular tab, which is mainly the main problem of that tab. Why people are using other things is because they want to get in your face and get more viewership. And so basically you're going to get the other tab just clicked more often, so it's going to be better delineation of tasks. The next update involves updates. The next update involves updates to already announced bad activities. So the first one is the outright addition of purchasing a housing plot with the intention of reselling it, which was already announced previously. And then there were also updates to previously existing problematic behaviors, such as defining improper following versus I don't want to say it on my channel because I know that apparently YouTube gets mad if I say that. But it also involves things like just treating people really poorly, basically. And just the genre, the collection of other horrific things that people can do to each other. People might be like, oh, just block them, but trust me, I have seen the horror stories about people like circumventing the blocks and making multiple accounts. There is definitely some messed up fudge that I've seen in this game over the years. It's not as easy as blocking in a lot of cases, sadly. But there was some dude that literally made like multiple alts and multiple accounts, and then this other person had to get a name change, blah blah blah, change servers even, and then apparently they found them through like a forum account post that they made. I've seen some stuff. This led into expanded definitions of rules that used to be kept ambiguous very much intentionally to prevent people from simply circumventing and exploiting loopholes. However, they did warn that this is more of a reference for learning about the behavior and isn't an all-encompassing document. This is likely just stated to ensure that loopholes or potentially very outlandish examples that you wouldn't normally expect can still be addressed. Never underestimate how creative some people can get. Never, ever, ever. Like, the worst thing that one could ever do when it comes to something like this is be like, haha, I'm confident I've covered all the edge cases. Okay, but have you thought about this? In fact, I know people in real life that have literally made an entire well-paying career out of explicitly that. And if you're thinking like network and stuff and like website security, yeah, exactly. The last thing you ever say is that you're confident you've covered all the bases, because then people take that as a challenge. Now this gets us into something juicy for sure, which is the account penalty policy has been modified very significantly. This is going to include an explanation about penalty points, which is a set of values assigned to particular violations. Like, theoretically, take this with a grain of salt, is 3 penalty points if you post RMT on the party finder. Obviously I don't know the actual values, guys, so take that with the biggest boulder of salt that you can find. But these penalty points are then carried on the account, or like stuck onto that account, and then are used to determine what sort of penalty is applied to the account if something bad goes on, or they do something bad in the future. What they did note in this article is that the penalty point system was only explained because they are introducing the next change, which is a system that has penalty points be reduced on an account based on the number of days that have passed. They last did something bad to get more penalty points. Which leads into some funky player and human psychology, which is ironically enough, just because these points weren't decaying, it worked with player psychology where people who already got punished would just do further bad things, figuring it wouldn't go anyway, so why just not be completely horrendous? The goal of this change is likely just to inspire long-term behavior change to the positive, but heads up, if this makes you like think that you're just gonna be a jerk one week and then kind the next week and then be a jerk the next week, no. The lowest severity of penalty points is a so-called caution, as they say in this article, which will take at least a year to start decaying. And then this next one, oh boy, a temporary service account suspension or worse, however, will take at least 3 to apparently 6 years to go away. Whoo boy, 6 years, that is a while. That's longer than a degree. There are of course more specific documentations available on the official documents for this information, but I think that this article really covers the gist of it, and if you want to dig deeper, you obviously can. So now I want to ask all of you, what do you actually think about this? Like, let me know in the comments. After all, I'm just one dude with an opinion. So for me, I like to see the decay system. I truly like to believe that people can change and improve. I definitely am a proponent of restorative justice. It was definitely a career path that I was thinking about doing. Would you like swap into law? But it was interesting. But here I'm going rambling at the end of my video. I'm so sorry. But for me, I just think it's healthier and better for the community at large, just to give people a chance at redemption, which I will always support. Also, I'm very happy for the Party Finder changes, because now Other will not be relegated as the so-called dumpster for Party Finder advertisement, and maybe we could use more fine-tuned options down the road, like maybe the developers could do like a housing or a marketplace tab or something, other than just a collective other thing. But I feel that this is in general a positive step forward, actually. Anyhow, let me know what you guys think. That's just my opinion. That's all for this video though. Take care everyone, and I hope you have a fantastic day.